Ever feel like you're constantly hustling, pushing through, just to stay on top of everything? And by the end of the week, you're left feeling totally drained? It's like we're trying to keep up with this endless list without actually stopping to ask if this is the best way for us to operate. But what if there's a better way? A way to work with your body's natural energy rhythms instead of fighting against them. Today, I want to talk about how you can get to know your body's unique rhythms and use that knowledge to plan in a way that doesn't feel like a constant push. This approach is all about reducing stress and feeling more balanced by working with yourself, not against yourself. Why your body's rhythm matters. We each have our own rhythm, and no two people's rhythms are exactly the same. Some days, we're full of energy, ready to tackle anything. Other days, it's hard to even get started. And these ups and downs aren't random. They're actually part of a natural rhythm that our bodies follow. When we understand our rhythms, we can plan our days and goals in a way that respects how we naturally operate. Our culture often celebrates constant productivity, but that all-go, no-rest mindset isn't realistic or sustainable. By tuning into our own unique cycles, we can not only get more done, but also feel better while doing it. Think of this approach as the difference between trying to swim upstream and flowing with the current. 3 steps to discover and work with your body's natural rhythms. Step 1. Observe and track your energy levels. The first step to understanding your natural rhythm is simple. Just observe. Spend a week or even a month tracking your energy and mood. Notice the days when you're energized and the times you feel slower. For instance, are you a morning person, ready to go when the sun rises? Or does your focus peak in the evening when everything's quiet? Just jot down how you feel at different times. Don't worry about analyzing yet. This is all about collecting information. After a while, you'll start to see patterns. Maybe you'll realize that Mondays are naturally slower for you, or that mid-afternoons tend to be your slump. This simple tracking is like a roadmap. It helps you get to know the best times to take on big projects, and when you might need to rest. Step 2. Identify your highs and lows. Now that you've tracked your energy, start identifying your highs and lows. When do you feel like you're ready to take on the world? And when does your energy dip? These highs are when you'll want to tackle your most demanding or creative work. These are the times to go all in, tackle projects, start something new, or take on a challenge. On the other hand, use your low energy times for simpler, less demanding tasks. When energy is lower, it's a great time to focus on routine tasks, organizing, or even just relaxing. It's not about labeling these phases as good or bad. It's about making each one work for you. Step 3. Plan monthly goals around your rhythm. Now that you know your personal highs and lows, let's talk goals. Look at the month ahead and start planning around your natural cycles. When you're in a high energy phase, make that your go-to time for bigger goals or high-focus tasks. Then, when you're in a low-energy phase, make room for reflection, self-care, or tasks that don't require too much mental energy. For example, if you're aiming to finish a project by the end of the month, plan to do the heavy lifting during your peak energy days. Save the wrap-up tasks, like organizing, editing, or reviewing, for your lower energy times. This approach lets you keep moving forward without burning out because you're pacing yourself according to what feels natural. Practical tips to keep planning fun and stress-free. Here are some tips that can make planning feel less like a chore and more like a support system. Flexible goals. Instead of rigid deadlines, give yourself broad timeframes. Think about when you'd like to finish something, but allow for adjustments. This takes the pressure off and lets you adapt to how you're feeling. Buffer time for big goals. For your bigger projects, build in some buffer days. If you're aiming to finish something by the 15th, give yourself until the 17th. This extra space allows for unexpected changes in energy without adding stress. Celebrate rest as progress. Rest is productive. It's part of the cycle, not a break from it. When you're in your low energy phase, remind yourself that rest is fueling your next phase of activity. Embrace it guilt-free. Small rituals to honor your rhythm. Create simple rituals to signal each phase to yourself. For example, light a candle or play calming music during low energy times to support restfulness, and choose upbeat music or fresh scents when you're in a high energy phase to stay motivated. These small cues can help you transition smoothly. Learning to work with your natural rhythms isn't about perfection, it's about self-acceptance and making your life a bit easier. The journey might take some time, but every small step counts. Have you ever noticed your own energy patterns? Or have you tried planning around them? I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below to share any tips or experiences. In our next video, we'll take this concept even further. We'll look at how you can create a space that supports these natural rhythms, using nature-inspired design to nurture both your productivity and peace. So, if you're ready to make your environment work with you, hit subscribe and let's keep building this journey together.